What a scene. How could you guys not like this? Are you serious? Do it. Yes. I mean, oh God, I can't take this scene. It's so freaking awesome. What's up, guys? First, DWatch in the new house, and what better movie to do than Halloween Kills? I thought I wasn't gonna be able to do this early because usually I like to use physical media when I'm doing DWatches, but I went out and I got this yesterday from Dollar General. That's it. Yeah, Dollar General. And I literally had people, or I guess I just had one guy. He thought that I was that Universal sent me this, and no, Universal doesn't like me that much. So I was just out and about. I was at Dollar General, and boom, there it was. So I heard a rumor. And I happened to be getting ice cream across the street from the Dollar General. I looked over and I saw, oh my God, there's a Dollar General. And I did hear the rumor, so I might as well go check it out. And boom, there it was. But looking forward to getting into this. I've never seen the extended version. We will do the extended version today. And if it's something that pops out that I don't recognize, I've watched this movie I think 4 times now. If it's something that pops out that I don't recognize, I'll definitely make note of it, okay? Because sometimes you don't realize if it's an extended scene. Uh-oh, look at that. It's already starting, but that might be starting the theatrical version. So let's get our bearings. But anyway, DWatch, Halloween Kills. Let's go. All right, as you can see, here is the main menu, and we're gonna go over to the extended cut right now. Extended cut, so we're gonna hit play. This film has been modified from its original version to include additional material not in the original release. I always remember that from those full screen DVDs. You'd always see this film has been modified from its original version. And back in the day, we never realized that the original version, meaning the director's intent, and the director's intent is right there. Usually either 2:3:5 or 1:8:5 aspect ratio. Oh my God, this, I mean, what a way to start a movie with this beautiful score. Hold on, let me turn that up. Man, I can't. I swear, every time I hear it, I get emotional. I can't take how beautiful this music is. And I'll just say Carpenter and Company. You know, John Carpenter, Daniel Davies, Cody Carpenter. I might mention the music throughout this, but I'll just say Carpenter and Company. All right, because I think there's a good amount of the other two, not just John Carpenter. Although it's definitely got that John Carpenter DNA all over it. But oftentimes too, when you have a part 2 that takes place right after the previous entry, they give you a little taste of something that just happened. You know, and in this sense, it was like chaos with Hawkins getting killed. And also, here we go, we find out what happened to Cameron. So right away they address that. So I guess very much like Halloween 2, this is just, it feels like one movie with the previous movie. You could watch this in Halloween 2018 as one movie. Not as much with the upcoming Halloween Ends because that takes place 4 years down the road. So what I mean by watching as one movie is in the same night. These 2 movies take place in the same night. And they do feel like they take place in the same night, even though Kills has its own voice. You know, Kills is a different movie than 2018. It feels like 2018 on adrenaline. Like, literally, I guess, that moment where Laurie sticks the adrenaline in her what was her ass, her leg, I don't know. That's what this movie is. It's a shot of adrenaline. And you know, let's go ahead and talk about the divide that this movie has. And it's something that I didn't expect. Oh, wait, let's listen to what he says. It needs to die, it has to die. Great acting, great acting. It needs to die. And that would become the punchline. Oh my God, we're in the flashback scene now, and there's so much I could talk about this movie. We'll get to what I was going to talk about. Let's talk about the flashback, okay? So I can stay on track. By the way, look at how this looks. Doesn't this look like 1978? I love how you got the blue hue. Almost like I see some Halloween 6 in there. You see that background, how it's kind of blue? It looks really cool. But the blacks are even darker, inkier. If you notice in the 1978 version, there's a lot more space in the frame for things to be there. And if you'll notice, they paid attention to that in this. Whereas in the present day in Halloween Kills, there's so much in the frame. There's so much chaos going on. But this was a good way to start it out, kind of toning it down a bit and not having as many objects in the frame, so that way you could have spaces for things to kind of pop out, which we do see some of that stuff. But it just feels like, it feels like they went back in time, had the crew from the original Halloween put this whole sequence together. And I was watching, right before I did this, I was watching some of the behind the scenes on this. They kind of took some liberties as far as the ending of 78, because Danny McBride says in our version of the flashback, acknowledging that yes, this could be an alternate version of what happened after, you know? Not necessarily that exact same, you know, or that scene where Loomis looks over the balcony and he's gone and he leaves. In this version, he's still kind of in the vicinity in front of the house. At least that's what I took from the interview with Danny McBride. There was some good behind-the-scenes stuff, and I didn't think there'd be as much, but they had some nice stuff about the Strode family, some nice stuff about the kills, and really the part that I like the most is when they talk about setting up this flashback scene. I guess I could jump into the divide with this movie because, I think one thing that we can all agree on, especially if you've paid attention to scenes like this, looked behind the curtain a little bit in the behind the scenes and seeing the passion that went on making this movie. You know, these were all fans of the original Halloween that made Halloween Kills and Halloween 2018. And man, I can really see the work that everybody put into this. Christopher Nelson with all the great practical effects. You know, he went out of his way to do everything practical. Even the Dr. Loomis scene that's coming up. I would have sworn, I probably would have bet money that was actual CGI. And Christopher Nelson himself, in my non-spoiler review, literally went in there and said, hey, just so you know, no CGI. They literally found this guy, I think they said his name's Tom Jones, and he was like kind of a set, like a carpenter on set, like a set designer or something like that. And they were thinking about using CGI for Loomis. And then when they saw this guy, they were like, oh my God, we have hit a gold mine. We have this guy working with us on set that looks exactly like Donald Pleasence. They said he looked so much like Donald Pleasence that they were scared that when they put the prosthetic makeup on him, that it would make him look less like Donald Pleasence. That's how much like Donald Pleasence he looks. So talk about a happy accident there. Yep, here's Lonnie. Hey Lonnie, get your ass away from there. But I think the ultimate goal here was like, can you marry this scene up with the original? You could literally insert this scene in between Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. I guess, could you do that? Or would the beginning of Halloween 2 kind of mess it up for you? Even though Halloween 2, technically not canon in this universe, even though there's a scene from Halloween 2 in this movie with Annie. It'll rack your brain. But you know what? Maybe they were joking with, the continuity for Halloween is so jacked up that I think the only other franchise that can rival Halloween with continuity is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is way all over the place. But maybe was kind of a wink, like, yeah, we know that the continuity is so jacked up and you'll probably have problems here too. So we use the scene for reference. But, all the way down to the same music, which is on this score here. They have all the music from the flashback sequence in here too, and it sounds a lot like the original movie, with some slight differences. And some entirely new tracks too, like when he attacks. And I'm hoping and praying that this, that I'm able to put this up, because there's been a couple of instances where I've had trouble with having this footage on the screen. And I've had to put like a filter image over it. So hopefully I don't have to do that, because I got a feeling this is going to be a long one. Like I wanted to watch the extended cut before I did this, but for time, I don't really have the time to. And you know what? I love this movie so much anyway. After I do watch the movie a couple more times, I'm definitely going to do a revisited for Halloween Kills. But I'll say up to this point right now, in relation to where I was with Halloween 2018. Like with Halloween 2018, I started the decline in my opinion of the movie pretty early on. Whereas Kills, it's still like, still my number 4. And you know me, guys. I like to be completely honest with you about these things. All right, if my mind changes, I'll tell you. But I think the reason it's staying the way it is with this movie is because of this movie right here, Halloween 6. Halloween 6 had a lot of that dark supernatural type stuff, and you can see a little bit of that DNA in this movie. But I think the big thing too is, I think more than any other movie in the franchise, Myers is an unstoppable force. Not human. It's like it feels spelled out in that movie that Myers, okay, this guy's not human. What he does. The same thing with this movie. So I was definitely getting those vibes. And if I could give a shout out, Brandon Tabata, who I went and saw Halloween 2018 with, not planned, we just ended up being at the same showing. And when we got out of the theater, he didn't like that movie. So I was curious. I was like, I wonder what Brandon thought of Halloween Kills after I watched it. Because it is a different movie than Halloween 2018. And I don't want to speak for you, Brandon, but I'm pretty sure Brandon loves this movie. And I would bet that that's probably part of the reasons, because of the nature of Myers in this movie. This movie does not hold back. And that fits into the Divide. Oh, I love this scene. There's no hesitation, just knee-jerk, boom. Myers comes across the frame. It felt like Nick Castle. And I've already seen a meme of this. Right there when he's holding the guy and his mouth's open. I've seen quite a few memes around that. This guy was a good young Hawkins, too. But, that's a stressful night for Hawkins. Can you imagine the mindset of Hawkins to this young deputy? They capture him, they put him away for 40 years. And he has this regret. He let him live instead of killing off the evil. Because at that time, he didn't know he was pure evil. He saw him as a man. He saw him as somebody's son. And so he didn't kill him. And so for the rest of his life, he's going to regret that. And then he comes back into the frame in 2018. And he lost his buddy, his partner. So I like that this wasn't just a straight up fan service-y type flashback. They established some ground rules in this flashback to play into the present day, with Hawkins, giving us some more context of why it's important to put an end to Myers, why evil must die tonight. And I agree with a lot of you guys, okay? I do agree that they needed to tone it down with the Evil Dies Tonight stuff. They really did. But that is the overall point of the movie. That is the vibe of the movie. At the beginning, the first line we hear is Hawkins saying, it needs to die. They even said that in 2018. So that's a theme that they're bringing forward into this. It needs to die. This has to die. And they don't refer to it as a person. They refer to it as a theme. Love that shot. Pull back. And then the theme. And if I'm talking too much, just tell me to shut up. Oh my God. Somebody said pointed out there were 12 pumpkins on this too. I haven't, but so 12 pumpkins signifying that there are 12 movies in the franchise, which I think is really cool. Now, this is a DVD quality, and it's a shame that I'm watching this in DVD. And I can see it. I don't know if you can see it on your end, but yeah, it's definitely DVD. But I'm looking more at you guys than I'm looking at the screen anyway, so it doesn't even matter. As you guys know, these are interactive, and so I'm going to post some killer flicks and some Instagram action here, and let you guys give your feedback on this movie. Man, I saw some heated discussions on Halloween Kills. And I honestly didn't expect that. Even though Halloween 2018 had its share of controversy too, there were people that hate it. But maybe it's just this franchise too. But man, because I put this as my #1 movie of the year, I literally had people say, I'm unsubbing your channel. You're literally unsubbing my channel because of a fucking movie? Because I like a movie? It's the YouTube. You can't explain this shit. You can't explain this shit. But I don't think any other franchise or movie gets gets people that riled up. Except unless it's like DC or Marvel and stuff like that. People do get pretty heated. But I think out of horror, Halloween, no contest. I've seen it. You know, I'm a horror fanatic, and I've observed other franchises. I've never, ever in my life seen fans get so riled up over a franchise like the Halloween franchise. It's interesting. It's really interesting to me. You know, I get riled up about it too, though. But I'm not going to unsub somebody if they put it as you know, last place or number one. I don't unsub people for their opinions. I subscribe to them because of their opinions. And one thing I do like about this universe that David Gordon Green and Danny McBride have created is, you know, I've seen a lot of controversy about woke material. And yes, woke content definitely exists today. And what I mean by woke, if you're not sure what woke is, for me anyway, my definition of woke is the story should be first and foremost. And when something, let's call it a speed bump, gets in the way of the story, and that speed bump feels like out of place, like you ever watch something and then all of a sudden you could get a weird vibe about it, or it just doesn't feel right, and it feels like something is being forced on you, be it a PC thing, be it an agenda, whatever. That, to me, that's like woke material. So I guess that's my barometer. When I'm watching something, I'm always focused on the story 100%. And when the story's going on, as I'm watching it, if something leaps out at me and I'm like, wait, why is that there? Why did that happen? That didn't even need to be there. They could take that scene out, you know? And it feels like there was an agenda that was going on. To me, then, yeah, okay, then you could get into woke. But if I can give you like an example, like The Last Candyman, everything in that movie fit in perfectly with the tone, the vibe of the original 1992 movie. My opinion. So when I'm watching that movie, I'm in that universe. Nothing took me out of that universe. So it's an opinion, but I didn't think that was woke at all, you know? Black Christmas 2019, oh my God, the whole thing felt like a woke agenda type of movie. You know, let's take a property that is beloved like Black Christmas, and let's lather it with a point of view that we want to get across that really has nothing to do with what makes Black Christmas great. That's woke. That's an agenda, okay? I don't even like the word woke, but it does exist, yes. And Black Christmas, I think, is the ultimate example. But yeah, here we go. There's the Halloween 2 reference. There's Kyle Richards. Got everybody. You know, it didn't bother me too much that they had a lot of the cast from the first movie in here. I do agree that Nurse Marion, I really didn't see a point for her to be in this, if I'm being honest. But other than she is an alumni, she does live in Haddonfield. This Tommy Doyle. First, let me preface this by saying this, guys. You don't have to like every character. As a matter of fact, you're not supposed to like every character in a well-rounded story. You have heroes. You have villains. You have confused characters. You have characters that aren't the brightest. You have characters that are super impulsive. This Tommy Doyle was super impulsive. He was angry, and he didn't think well on his feet. And so they knew exactly what they were doing with this version of Tommy. This is not Paul Rudd from Halloween 6. Even though he's a little weird and chaotic, we still liked him. We're still rooting for him big time. And I think this version of Tommy is pretty effective because at the beginning you are kind of rooting for him because we know Tommy Doyle from 78. But quickly we realize that, wait, this Tommy Doyle is, he's had a history there, and he's reacting in a very impulsive way, and we could almost see his downfall. You know, like at least I could. Within the first act of the movie, his decisions made me realize, okay, he could probably die in this movie, okay, because of how stupid he is. But he still feels like a real person. You know how you have characters that are so stupid that they could only exist in the cinema world? No, this is a character that's so stupid, but he still fits into our world. You know why? Because our world is filled with really stupid fucking people. There are a lot of them. I mean, and in this day and age, more than ever. All right? So Tommy Doyle fits right in, for sure. This scene right here, guys. Oh, I love this freaking scene. Just the idea, the thought of Myers trapped in rubble and they save him. Like, has that ever been done before? And oh my God, look at him there. Just badass. So you have saved the wrong person, and then he just comes in freaking guns blazing. This is one of the coolest shots out of the entire franchise. Even if you hate this movie, you probably think this scene's pretty damn badass. Even if you're a fireman, you probably think this. If you're, I think most firemen would agree, because they're not part of that stupid movement that we saw on the internet. You know, I don't think there's a single. If you're a fireman in my audience, tell me that you were not offended by this. And I've worked with firemen because I'm prior military, and those are the toughest, badass motherfuckers you'll ever meet in your life, and they will lay down their life for you. And I guarantee you, they enjoy movies like this, and they don't get butthurt and offended over fiction, okay? Just imagine if Superman walked out of that house and he was facing a whole bunch of firemen. Who do you think would win, all right? I'm not saying Myers is as strong as Superman, but I guarantee you he's stronger than all of us, right? He's Michael Myers, so of course he's going to win. Sheriff Brackett. One thing I do love, too, is like all these returning characters. David Gordon Green was like, fuck it, let's kill them. Let's put them all in the movie, and we're thinking, you know, oh, I guarantee you they're going to make all of them live because, you know, out of respect. Nope. Fuck that. Not in this movie. We're going to kill you. So the kills are underway, and I like this one. This one's a fun one. I think Christopher Nelson, one of the guys on set actually came up with the idea of using the light. Not a good day for this lady at all. I've replaced quite a few of those lights too. You know, it's just a nice little twist. You twist it in there. That's all you got to do. Oh, I'm sure that's been done in a slasher movie before. It's because there's like a library, an encyclopedia of slasher kills out there. I feel like I've seen that before. But it's a good kill. It's a good kill. And I could be wrong. It could be the first of its kind. I don't know. This one had some very creative kills too. And they had a good mix. Like, I think most of them were on screen like that. Like you saw the weapon going in. And then they had some off-screen kills as well. But I mean, if you're a slasher fan, baseline, all you need is good kills in a slasher movie, then this is definitely the movie for you. You're not going to get like, you know, the TNA and all that stuff. It's not that type of movie, but it's a very serious slasher killer movie. And you got the deadliest killer ever. Like this scene right here, see? This whole sequence kind of feel like you got the on-screen, and then you got more surreal type, you know, just sitting back and watching somebody that you love, your husband, die while you're dying. And, you know, helpless. That's the mood of this complete sequence here. It's just 100% helplessness. The killer just walks right out of frame. And you hear an applause as he's walking out. I guess that's signifying the fans. As with any DWatch, we like to roam around, right? We like to roam around. This is the new house. Oh, my battery's going out. Let me change it real quick. But yeah, here's the new house. Last time I showed it to you guys, there were boxes and disarray all over the place. But, you know, it's a simple living room. One thing I like about this one, though, is I get higher ceilings. But I'm going to show you the one thing I love about it the most here in a second. But yeah, here's the kitchen. Nice fridge where I can grab my... Is there a cold monster in there? Not much in the fridge, okay? I'm not going to lie, I do need to go buy groceries, but I do have a cold monster in there. Some of you wonder, like, how many monsters... Like, does Lee always have a monster ready? And I do. There you go. Freaking case of monster right there. At the ready. At all. Matter of fact... I'll take one out and I'll swap it out, you know? Keep them cold, keep them cold. But the town sheriff might be the most useless character out of these last two movies. Like, he hasn't made a mark whatsoever. He's just kind of the guy that walks around and does nothing, you know? He's not a very proactive police chief. But here, let me show you, like, I guess one of my favorite parts of the house. What's my favorite franchise? Halloween, right? So, look at this. Does this remind you of anything? I literally have the staircase and landing pretty similar, just on the opposite side of the house to the original Halloween. So every time I walk up these steps, I'm thinking of Michael Myers. It's nice. Here is the evil lair. Going to that. Got it lit up for you guys, you know. I honestly had no idea what this was going to be. And I was scared because I was telling you guys that I had these big plans and I had an idea. I did have, but I didn't really have like a full finished vision in my head. And that's kind of the way I do things anyway. Like even in my reviews, when I sit down to, yeah, I take some notes, some things that I definitely don't want to forget to talk about. But I don't script, and I just sit down and I go with the flow, you know? And then after I'm done talking, then I go back and I look at my bullet points that I wanted. So just to make sure I didn't forget anything. But it works better for me when I just kind of just go casual when I'm talking. Because sometimes you can catch some nice moments when you do that too, you know? I don't like being scripted at all. Now, in the last couple videos, you've seen that I took the t-shirt off the TV. You know what? It is what it is. You're always going to have some people that don't like the glare from the TV. I'm sure a lot of you don't, but I like Jolene. She was getting upset. She told me, she was like, you know what? If they don't like it, tough. I'm Jolene, and hear me roar, and I don't talk back to my woman. So, yeah, Jolene gets to be, she's pretty much naked for you guys as you're watching my reviews. So why wouldn't you want that, right? I kind of leave my streaming setup. Got my mic there. I think that's an 18-inch and a little 6-inch. But for some reason it works. I don't know why. Some reason it still lights my face evenly on both sides. You know, because I can adjust. Now I just turned the light on to give you some more light, but yeah, that's what it looks like. Got my floor lights there. Floor light. Nice little rug here. Really, that rug serves a couple purposes. It's comfortable to walk on, but it also dampens the sound so I don't get as much echo. And I got boxes of stuff still in here. Like that box right there has got the Halloween box set. Yeah, you can see it right there. Hold on. There we go. There it is. Halloween box set. I wonder if there'll be another box set after Ends comes out, you know? It'd be cool if there was. But yeah, that's my record player. I just did a drum box, Rue Morgue magazine. Definitely give them a subscribe to Rue Morgue. Great magazine, great horror stuff. Yeah. And then you can see like all the VHS love back there. Do I cover up my VHS too much? Do I need to open them up a little bit? Let me know, guys. I appreciate your feedback, okay? Some Neat. Thanks, Some Neat. He gave me that, and he gave me that, the Friday the 13th. But let's head back down. Let's go see what scene we're on. Yep, we got Little John and Big John. Two of the most likable characters out of this whole movie. See, that's a scene that depends on editing. You have to have your cuts at certain moments, your music at certain moments to make it work. Halloween. And you guys Mad TV fans? That dude's hilarious on Mad TV. Michael McDonald. Everybody loves Stu. Isn't that the character that he played? Was it the grown-up that's a kid? And he always goes, no, stop it. So I noticed the first scene that's in the extended. I'm sure I missed a couple. I heard that there's one in the firefighter scene with Myers going to town. But the first like really substantial one I saw was Karen going into this room and asking if anybody's seen her husband. To add a little bit more to her grieving. I don't think that scene was needed after watching it. I think it was better to just have the one scene where she's crying and she's in the room. Just a moment. You know, that's really all you need in a slasher movie like this. Just a nice little moment. I think that'll get the job done. So I can see why they cut that scene out. I didn't think it was anything special. So far, it's the theatrical version. Now I hear there is an alternate ending. I was looking for it on like the alternate and deleted scenes. I didn't see it. So I'm wondering if the alternate ending is in the extended cut. We shall see. We'll watch it together. This is kind of a second chapter for Allison, you know. Allison is a character that probably has the most arc out of this whole thing because she starts off kind of confused. She sees that her mother is, you know, constantly at odds with her grandmother, and Allison's in the middle of all that, you know? So I think there's traces of both characters in Allison. And so in this one, she knows that the threat is real. And so she has to kind of step up. Her grandmother's out of commission. A lot of the complaints I heard from this movie was that Laurie Strode is bedridden, like in Halloween 2. The difference there for me, it did bother me in Halloween 2 because this was her second movie. She's still a very viable character. And she did really do much of nothing in the original Halloween 2. Whereas I think she should have done more. This movie is not fully a Laurie Strode tale as a protagonist because of her family. You know, you have Allison, you have Karen who are going to be there to pick up the weight. You've always heard my complaints about Laurie Strode, okay? So, did it bother me that Laurie Strode was out of commission in this movie? Not at all. Actually, I kind of liked it. I kind of preferred it. It was nice to take a step back and not depend on Laurie. You know, I got to give Jamie Lee Curtis credit. She does carry a lot of these successful movies on her shoulders. She is a bankable name. You know, I can't take that away from her at all. Laurie Strode is a very important character. I just don't want to see her be the main protagonist in every movie. So that's one of the things I loved about Kills, was that this was more of a Karen and Allison vehicle. And I loved both those characters in this movie. I really didn't like Karen in 2018, and I ended up loving her in Kills. Allison, I liked her, but I saw so much potential in 2018. She delivers big time in the final act, and that was intentional. I think they heard a lot of the complaints about her from the last movie, and they wanted her to have that moment to shine in this, and boy does she. Yeah, for me, the Strode family didn't really get in the way of this one. I like Karen, I liked Allison. Laurie, I think Laurie is one of the weakest spots of this movie, but it's a weak spot that I didn't mind, you know? But she does pretty much nothing. And I think they're saving that for Ends. I think Laurie is going to be a big major player in Ends, for sure. With Karen dead, Allison I think is going to be a major player. But honestly, guys, I can't even take a wild guess as to where they're going with Ends. You know, I've heard that that he stated that there's a lot of like John Carpenter's Christine in it, whatever that could mean. I don't know. I think that's a great thing. I love Christine, so we shall see. I think Myers is going to be even more supernatural in that one than he is in Kills. That doesn't mean he's going to be more violent. I just think that there's going to be some other plot elements that come into play that kind of accentuate that. Is that the right word? Accentuate? Loved Lonnie in this too. I guess that's the one big thing I like about Kills. A lot of the characters stepped up their game. Cameron in this movie I ended up really liking a lot. He has the most impactful death. I mean, his death, I was feeling for this kid like, wow, he is taking a fucking beating. I guess he's kind of the Dana of this movie, because if you remember in Halloween 2018, Dana's death, it was probably the most heart-wrenching. And it's early in the movie, you know, it's really the first major death. I like that they added another one in this movie with a substantial character, Cameron. So even though Cameron died, he comes out a very memorable character. I'm wondering if they're going to have another very impactful death in Ends. I would almost put money on it that they will, you know? And they do a good job of playing these scenes out too, I think, you know? Having an impact. Here we go. You see Tommy Doyle? Strength in numbers, he's thinking, if I have more numbers, I can beat Michael Myers. Wrong, you can't. If you remember, like, you can compare Tommy Doyle in this movie to Loomis in the first movie. Loomis was very patient. Loomis didn't go and say, let's get a mob together and let's go hunt him down. No, as a matter of fact, he did the opposite. Remember, Brackett told Loomis, you know, let's hunt this guy down. And Loomis said no, because then you'll create a panic. Remember that, guys. Loomis himself. This is foreshadowing right here. Or is it backshadowing? Loomis himself in the first movie said, no, we do not want to create a panic. Because Loomis knew that you can never underestimate Michael Myers. And so it comes full circle in this movie. David Gordon Green and Danny McBride were thinking of that moment, I guarantee it. And they're thinking, let's do what Loomis told us not to do. And let's see what happens. And this is what happens. Tommy Doyle did exactly what Loomis said don't do. Oh my God, this freaking scene right here. I love this scene. Kyle Richards really got a chance to shine in this movie too. You know, they didn't just waste her. That's something I always wanted. You know, I wanted Lindsay to be able to make a mark. And I remember, like, one of the early DD Lives I did, you know, when they were ramping up for this movie, marketing-wise, I was thinking, like, wouldn't it have been cool if this opened kind of like Scream opens with a scene, be just a showdown between Myers and Lindsay. You know, and Lindsay being the first death. Thinking back, I'm glad that they didn't go that route because I love this character and I want her to go to ends. This music too, guys. This is Rampage off of the soundtrack. I saw this with a packed crowd. I think a couple days before it released nationwide, because they did like an advanced screening and critics. Sometimes they'll mix us, and the crowd was going nuts during this scene. They were loving it. When the nurse comes up with a gun and it turns on her, everybody was just, it was like, oh shit! You know, it was one of those type moments. If you're an alumni type character, doesn't matter. You're gonna die. Oh, and he rips her hair out too. That's a bad way to die. I love this. The guy thinks he's got the upper hand. Knife right through the eye. Yeah, Christopher Nelson was talking about that scene too, and they actually shot the jab in reverse. So basically it started with the knife in the eye, and then he pulled it out, and then they reversed it. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's a great example of like your adrenaline just rushing. You're completely running on aggression. You know, you can't really think, and that's what she was doing. She was just pointing and shooting, and not thinking about what was in front of her. And so he opens the door. She doesn't even have a second to react. Just comes right back on her. Come on, Lindsay. She almost got the mask off too. Man, I'm loving this scene. How could you not like this scene? Jesus, this is crazy. Now, there were a lot of people that were saying, how did she end up like all dirty and bloody and everything? And let's see if that's in here. If they insert a scene in here, because I know she ends up in like this swamp with alligators and whatnot. And here's your chasing scene. You know, this is a damn good chasing scene. The breathing. You know, they paid attention to every detail. Do you think this was probably the smartest Myers has ever been, meaning that he's like always 2 steps ahead of everybody, very calculated? I guess that's the word for it. I think this is probably the most calculated Myers. Even though there's no target. He's not hunting anybody in this movie. He's just pissed off. Guys, really important, okay? This is more important than Halloween Kills, okay? I need you guys to look at Levi, all right? Hold on. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Like, get a job. Like, how lazy can you be? You're literally just gonna, those are his paws right here. Little paws. Don't you recoil. Don't you recoil. You know what you're doing. I can't be mad at you. I love you. I love you, Levi. You're my everything. But he'll do that. He doesn't mind getting wedged in a pillow. Oh, yep, there we go. We got the merry-go-round. Lonnie. This acting on this dude that played Lonnie, really good. Does it bother you that they used the mask from Halloween 3 a little bit too much? It doesn't me. I mean, I think but they definitely put an emphasis on them in this movie. You know, it wasn't, unless you haven't seen Halloween 3, I guess you wouldn't know, but yeah. I liked it though. I thought it was cool. Yeah, here we go. So here's Lindsay. Now this is theatrical cut. Or this is from the theatrical version. I don't see any extended scenes here. But yeah, the reason why she's bloodied, I'm guessing, is because she was slammed onto the ground by Myers. You know, so she's probably spitting up blood. And she was hiding under that bridge in the water. So I don't know why that's a big deal. This is definitely a shot right out of Halloween 2. She's literally laying on the pillow that exact same way in one of the scenes. Really cool. Now, I bitched and I complained and I moaned about Hawkins, about Laurie Strode, about Jamie Lee Curtis on her Instagram. You know, basically, she gave to me, that's a huge spoiler because Hawkins is a very beloved character. And, you know, let me turn that camera around. I'm not a spoiler freak, okay? Like, if I'm watching casual movies, I don't really care usually that much. If it's franchises or properties that I am very passionate about, like say Star Wars, like Halloween, even like Friday the 13th, stuff like that. If it's something that I'm really, really passionate about, of course I don't want to be spoiled. I don't want to know things. And I'm aware that there is social media, and you do have to stay off of social media for certain things. So I do partly blame myself, but when you're the main star of a movie, I just don't think that's information you should put out there. If you want to put it out the day after the movie comes out, I guess that's fine, you know? But this was something that was put out, I think, like a week before, maybe 2 weeks before the movie came out. And so it kind of bugged me. It was like, you know, because you're the main star. If this was just maybe even a crew member, just, you know, somebody not that substantial. And the reason I say that is because there's more of a chance that people aren't going to be following them on Instagram. But this is Jamie Lee Curtis. This is somebody who has a lot of followers on Instagram. I think there's a little bit of responsibility there, you know? And maybe it wasn't even her. Maybe somebody else said, hey, you should post this. You should post this, you know? So whoever told her to post that, I don't think that was a cool move. I'm sure some people thought I overreacted a little bit. But, you know, I thought it was a worthy talking point. You know, it was a worthy question. You know, I wasn't like basically stating that my opinion on the matter is, you know, that important. No, it's not. The horror community, it's a community type thing. And anytime there's an issue that is brought up, is it worth discussing? Because at the end of the day, that's what this all is. Let's discuss topics. Let's discuss horror. Let's discuss, is this right? Is this wrong? Should this character do this? Should this franchise go this direction? It's all discussion. And so I was thinking, that's something that's, I think, worthy of discussion. And I get to give people a heads up that, hey, you might not want to check out Jamie Lee Curtis's Instagram, okay? I've talked too long about it already, damn it. Okay, so here's where the chaos is starting to kick in. Now, here's the thing with the Evil Dies Tonight, okay? Because I still, to this point, I have not heard Evil Dies Tonight. Here's where it comes, and it comes from the one character who really, really overreacts and fucks up. And let me ask you guys this. Evil Dies Tonight. Yeah, he just said it. Let me ask you guys this, though. When you are very angry about something, sometimes we do tend to say things that maybe we don't even think about. So, like, it just comes out. It just blurts out. And a lot of times we can even get repetitive with certain things that we say because we're so angry. Have you ever gotten into like a fight with somebody, like a yelling match or something like that, and you're just angry about a given situation, and you just start blurting stuff out, you know, nonsensical stuff. I think that's the situation here. I think Tommy Doyle has lost his mind at this point. He's freaking out. And so he is clinging on to this one phrase to really try to get his message across. Evil dies tonight. Evil has to die tonight. That's his thing. And so I think we're supposed to look at that character and say, you fucking idiot, you moron, what are you doing? We're supposed, see, that's the thing. If it's written that way, and it fits in the story, then to me, it gets a pass. And that's what this character was doing. This character was not smart at all. Is he a bad guy? No, he's not. Tommy Doyle's not a bad guy. But even in the novelization, they talk about his past and how he had trouble in relationships and how he had anger issues. So I think they probably should have had a scene or two in here to really drive that point home that, hey, this is a Tommy Doyle that's a little unhinged. You know, think like Russell Crowe in that movie Unhinged. That's Tommy Doyle in this movie. They didn't have a scene in here to really drive that home. Or maybe the scene is when he finally flips out. So I do agree with you guys there that they might, but the whole Evil Dies Tonight thing, yes, I do think they could have toned it back, but no, honestly, it didn't really bother me because I'm looking at a person who is just completely unhinged. And he's clinging on to a statement. Laurie Strode, on the other hand, Jamie Lee Curtis, I can't blame Jamie Lee Curtis. This was the script, you know? So I'm blaming the writers here, but I think they definitely needed to tone it down with her. You know, I'm trying to be fair about this, guys. Yes, I agree with you. They kind of want to keep giving Laurie Strode these like catchphrases, like in the last movie when she says, "Happy Halloween, Michael." Please stop doing that. Don't do that anymore, because that does get annoying. So this is the scene that made me a Karen fan. I actually love that. I love when a movie can turn me around on a character that, let's just face it, I didn't like Karen in 2018. I didn't like her at all. And then somehow they made me end up loving her in this movie. So to me, that's some good writing. If you can do that, I mean, that says something. But this scene, I feel, is very powerful too. Great music too, by the way, by Carpenter Company. But, you know, this is the loss of a life, of a person who was not guilty of, you know, he's not Michael Myers. And he feels like, you know, he sees the mob coming after him. He feels like, I have no hope. And so he takes his own life. He jumps out the window. I did think that this scene would be a little divisive, but I never expected it to be as divisive as it was, like people flat out hating the scene. You know, keep in mind too, we've all seen what Michael Myers looks like. Because of pop culture, because he is probably one of the most popular slasher killers out there. So we're thinking that these characters know what we know. We're thinking that they know the build of Michael Myers, what he looks like. But what we're not considering is that I would wager that a lot of these people don't know what Michael Myers looks like. They definitely don't know what his face looks like, but some of them probably don't even know what his body style looks like. So would I have rather them have had a more like-physiqued person play that role? Probably. But do I buy that a lot of these people wouldn't know? I do, you know, because that's the way the story's been told throughout the years. We have to take out of our own minds, you know, what we know Myers to look like. You know, we have to stop assuming that the characters know what we know, because that's not always the case. Useless, and he knows he's useless. Well, I guess what he could have done is stepped in and said, "Tommy, step aside, let me take care of this." And, you know, maybe the situation would have went differently. Maybe the guy wouldn't have died. Let's check Instagram. Let's see if we have, I'm just going to do Instagram today. Usually, sometimes I do Twitter, sometimes I do Instagram, sometimes I do Killer Flick shoutouts. Today we'll just do Instagram. Yeah, because we already got a lot of freaking comments on Instagram. Okay, Joey Talicio says, "I love this movie. Great installment in the franchise." The Real Sean, what's up, brother? He says, "What's up, Lee? Hope you're enjoying it, brother." Yes, I am. Patrick OC 25190 says, "Looking forward to it." Vinny Lima, what's up, Vinny? He says, "So eager. I love you, man. I needed a DWatch of H Kills. Best movie of 2021. Boom." Vinny says, "Oh my God, man, come on. You read my mind. Did you see my reply in the comment today? Or you read my mind?" Laugh out loud. Because I said, I wish you make another DWatch video, and here we go. The most ironic thing was I thought, damn, a DWatch would be great, but what movie? Haha, the answer was at my face. H Kills, of course. How could I be so stupid? Haha. My God, Lee, you read my mind, man. And nothing better than a DWatch with Halloween Kills. Damn. This is a bliss in my life. 2022. Man, I'm loving your enthusiasm, Vinny Lima, man. It's great. Angel Eyes, what's up? She gives a lot of hearts. KHF says, "What I'm really looking forward to is the eventual revisited review with a deeper analysis and second ranking once enough time has passed. The revisited of 2018 was great. Can't wait for that to eventually come out." Me too, me too. Bugsy Siegel says, "We got a link. I'm in Tampa. I do photography, videography, and 107 certified drone pilot and audio engineer, not to mention a diehard Halloween fan and supporter of the channel." Yeah, Bugsy. Man, you've been a supporter of the channel forever, dude. And it's cool to live here in Orlando now. Fachi, what's up, brother? He says, "Come on, man, you ruined it for me. I've never seen this yet." Oh, is he talking about the extended cut? Maybe he's talking about the extended cut. Rob Sandoval says, "I love that shot of Michael." T. Pevens says, "Love Kills. Definitely one of the better Halloween films, in my opinion." Thomas Baker says, I love kills. Johannes8844 says, the first scene with the firefighters is awesome. Nathan 241150. Brett Goodreal Hunting says, Evil dies tonight, or does it? No, it doesn't. Jose Cuban Horror 86 says, can't wait for this one, Lee. Thanks, Jose. Andrew Skywalker 03. Some flames, baby. Anthony B55 says, this scene and the scene in H6 where he goes into the surgeon room are probably the most intense scenes in the whole series. Hell yeah. The Shape 81, still can't believe that you found this at a Dollar General of all places. I can't believe it. I got lucky. And Jose Cuban Horror again, he says, I'm not just the evil dies tonight. It's a little annoying, but other than that, a good Halloween movie. There you go, right? Yeah. Yeah, they could have toned it down a little bit with the Evil Dies Tonight. So now we're down to Lonnie. I don't know why he told Cameron and Allison to stay in the car, because knowing they're going to go right in there. Man, this is a great scene. I love a good final act in a Halloween movie, and to me, this is, you know what? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do ranking the final acts in Halloween. Would you guys like that? I think I should do that, because this is definitely one of the best final acts. You know, I like good emotion in a final act. And this one definitely has that. It's got some great lighting in it. It's got some impactful kills. You got some character moments where they really get to step up, like Allison. Yeah, I like that Allison and Cameron are in this final act. Oh, they're Big John and Little John. To me, I almost think this was like a sign of respect, you know, because that whole report that Michael Myers is homophobic, people always have to pick a cause these days. But no, Michael Myers just kills people, you know. They were in his house. Who do you think Myers would kill more than anybody? Somebody outside of his house or somebody inside his house? Think about that, guys. And some sassy people might say that evil should have died in 2018. But I beg to differ, because Michael was full-on supernatural and was not fucking around in this movie whatsoever. I tell you, I thought Cameron was going to live in this scene, if I'm being honest. I was not. I was prepared for his death if he died, but I was not prepared for how crazy his death scene was, you know? And he sees his own father up there. Harkening back to the first movie, coming out of the closet. That's a big knife too, you know? You're not really getting up from that knife. Yeah, I love that. How Alice is just going for it. So many like really nice shots in this scene too, like how he's just like looking at her in the face. See, now if I can compare this to like Rob Zombie's Halloween, you notice how there's a nice amount of screaming in this final act. She screams right there, couple scenes, but she's not screaming for 20 minutes straight. I think that's important in these movies, because you don't want to drown your audience out with the screaming. You know, because too much of it becomes annoying. Perfect amount in this movie. Look at this. Jesus. Poor Cameron. Oh, I love that. See, that's what I wanted in Halloween 2007. Come and get me, motherfucker. That's it. Not somebody help me. And I'm, you know, not knocking Scout Taylor Compton. She's the actress. She did a great job. She's doing what she's told to do on the paper. Okay? So I'm not putting Scout Taylor Compton down. She's awesome. I'm talking about the writing. Look at that fucking shot, guys. Makes me want to put on my coveralls and mask right now and walk down my stairs. That's sadistic. He knows that Cameron means something to her. And she's thinking he's done with Cameron. But he looks at her and then grabs Cameron's head and freaking, you know, he ends it. What a scene. How could you guys not like this? Are you serious? Do it. Yes. I mean, oh God, I can't take this scene. It's so freaking awesome. Get him, Karen. The music, I mean, everything. Look at that. Boom, she kicks his head. Oh my God. You don't like that? Like, you seriously don't like that? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm getting passionate. I'm sorry. I don't get it. I don't get it. This is a great final act. Like, this might be the best final act in the franchise, all right? I'm saying that. This is a damn good final act. You know, and I like that they don't show his face. They just show just a little bit of the side. You see a shadow from the front.
You want to fucking kill someone? Take me!
That's it, Karen.
I'm an innocent woman.
This is so badass.
Just like your sister was. It was Halloween night.
She makes the mistake of leaving it to the mob when she should have just ended it right then and there. Everyone's entitled to one good scare. And then Brackett dies. Iconic shot. This is a great scene too because Michael takes a beating in this scene. Like, I thought that they were going to end this movie with Myers like laying on the ground and the mob like walking away, and then the end of the movie is like he gets up and he walks off. But no, he gets up, but he cooks fools. What does he cook? Fools. You know, taking the fact that this is a horror movie out of the situation, just imagine that in real life. You're standing around and you're watching a mob of people beat one man with a baseball bat, you know, and an iron. That's a heavy night, you know? You're probably going to have some nightmares watching shit like that.
That is the true curse of Michael.
That is the true curse of Michael. I love that they slipped that into here. You know, there's some Curse fans on that set, on that crew. There's some Curse fans. If we only knew then what we know now. You see, guys? Ooh. Perfect editing, you know? Setting all this up. If we only knew then what we know now. And then, boom, he gets up and freaking slays. I don't know about you guys. Were you guys rooting for Myers to get up? Because I was. I was like, I want Myers to get up and I want him to kill every single one of them. Isn't that crazy? Like, in real life, we would never want that. But it's our boy. It's Michael Myers, you know? He's an icon. And by the way, guys, is this not like the best Myers has ever looked? I mean, from top to bottom, coveralls, the mask, everything is perfection. Man, this has been a fun DWatch. It flew right by. Got way too much sunlight coming in the room right now. This house has a lot of windows, and a lot of light comes in during the day. I have to turn my ISO down to like 400. That's camera speak. It's camera speak. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Yep, there goes Tommy Doyle. Now I wonder if this line was put in after the fact when they knew that they were going to go 4 years in, because she was like, when is he going to return? It could be next Halloween. It could be whenever. I'm thinking they probably put that in after they realized that they can't do it on the same night. And another question for you guys. Are you glad that Ends is not going to be on the same night, that it goes 4 years? I am, actually, because it just opens the door for a lot of possibilities. Okay, I think we might have an alternate ending. Let me switch cameras here because I want to see if this is going to be an alternate ending. She said you can't close your eyes and pretend he isn't there. So I think that's new. Or it might not be. So let's see if by alternate ending maybe it just gets stretched out a little bit. I don't know, that felt like it was the same length. What a great shot. You could take, you know, 50 images of that mask and all 50 of them are going to look iconic. Unknown caller. I think this is new. Oh, okay, yeah, this is definitely new.
Lord, what is it?
Oh, it's Myers.
I'm coming for you, Michael.
Oh, no, I do like this ending. Oh, okay, I like that. That's good. That's good. But I see why they can't use that, because Ends takes place 4 years later. That's a nice touch, though, that he's like on the phone. Oh, and they ended on the knife again like they did in the last movie. Yeah, I think that's the better ending. What do you guys think? Guys, we did it. DWatch, Halloween Kills is in the books. Did I annoy the fuck out of you like I usually do? I hope I did. No, I hope I didn't. I love you guys. You guys are the reason why I still have a channel. You guys are the reason why Drumdums is a small little thing, you know? And I appreciate you guys to death, okay? Without you guys, I'm nothing. Nothing. 0.0, okay? So, yeah. DWatch down. I'm glad it was the first one in the new house. And yeah. Hey guys, Thanks for watching. I asked you guys some questions along the way. Let me know down in the comments on those things. Do you hate this movie? Like, do you really hate this movie? If you hate this movie, tell me why you hate it, okay? Even though I probably told you why you hated it during this. So, anyway, guys, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day on Fridays. We do Free Fall Fridays. Follow my Drumdums on all my socials. Support me on Patreon. Buy me a coffee. And you guys, thank you so much for watching. Every day, Drumdum out. Evil dies tonight.